Okay, good morning, Austin. Welcome back. Our final interview of day one here at the running event, our daily coverage brought to you by none other than BOA Technologies. And who better to wind down the day than Meg Procter from BOA Technologies. Meg, welcome to the show. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm pretty honored to be here. I think as having seen doctors and professional athletes in this chair, or at least one similar to it, it's a pretty big honor. A little nervous to be on here, but
come on.
I'm so stoked to be a part of this.
Yeah, well, thanks for your support and thanks for being willing to come on and talk BOA with us for a little bit. I mean, obviously, you and I have worked closely now for, I don't know, a year and a half, basically since you joined the brand. So maybe quickly just give a quick personal background on what you do at the company before we talk more specifically.
Yeah, so I joined BOA a little over a year ago, and it has been a whirlwind since, not only because I came from a snowboard background and had grown in my career hugely from that, and that's where BOA found me, was in snowboarding. So coming into it, and I think in the first few weeks I met you and went on your first like PFL on mountain test. And I was like, all right, this is like how we're going to do things, like immediately with the athletes on the mountain. And it was a great intro to just being a part of the brand and getting into different categories, because my life has been so revolved around snowboarding that jumping into all the things BOA is a part of and makes a difference. Yeah. It's been amazing.
You worked at Burton before.
Yes.
You were at BOA. Talk about the other best sport in the world besides snowboarding, trail running.
Oh, trail running.
Because, I mean, obviously, like part of the reason why we wanted to have you on the show is because, you know, a lot of the brands now are using the product with great results. And so maybe give a shout out to some of the brands that are going to be here that use BOA and maybe how specifically you engage with those brands in your professional role.
Yeah, I think you're going to start seeing BOA more and more. I think TRE is a great way to see the specs that BOA appears throughout a lot of the brands, but La Sportiva has always been a big partner with us and has given BOA an opportunity to show up with them, along with Scarpa, Ultra, North Face. You'll see us throughout many different industries. We've been with Adidas Terex before. So this year we will also have a happy hour with La Sportiva and Scarpa on Wednesday, if anybody wants to come, 3 to 6.
La Sportiva is going to be in here tomorrow. Speedlane guys will be here on Sunday. So anyway, a lot of great BOA product, and I can't wait to see all the stuff on the showroom floor tomorrow. From a practical standpoint, give the audience a sense of like how BOA engages with these brands to help bring a product to market. Because I mean, everybody knows the dial, right? And that's the BOA product, but I know the service is a lot deeper than that. It's not like they're just buying the product from you and you're saying good luck or whatever. So talk about that relationship between BOA and your brand partners and how you ensure that's successful.
Yeah, that is a big part of, I think, what BOA strives to do as a company and a successful business is how we show up with brand partners. We wouldn't be the product we are without the brands we work with. So as a marketing manager, it is the puzzle I work on every day of how we can show up with all these different brands in their own unique way. So not as like an agency, but we almost are willing to create the picture with that brand that they want while highlighting our benefits. So it can be as something small as a collab post to doing a launch event to supporting a race. And if anything, supporting the athletes that are within those brands. Our athlete connection and support is really important to us and the livelihood of our product.
That's really interesting. So yeah, that's sort of like the marketing side of the equation. And I've spoken to Dan, and maybe this is a question better directed towards him, but maybe you could provide some insight on it too. Cause like, it's not just like the marketing amplification that you can bring to your brand partners, but I think also there's a lot of collaborative design work that happens and creating the fit that people want in their trail running footwear. Anything you can say about that design?
I mean, I was definitely giving it the marketing side. Yeah. When it comes to we start from nothing with the brand partners when they want to create a product. And if anything, in the past like 5 to 10 years, BOA has made a point of striving to not just get in with a brand or be on a certain product, but to change that product to give it the ultimate performance it can. So with, like you mentioned, Dan, who I think has been on this podcast a couple times and can speak to a lot of this, but I can just reference the papers he's had published, which you can find on boafit.com. He has gone to great extents to highlight or to test BOA on trail and in our performance fit lab, which I feel like whenever people talk about BOA now, they talk about our PFL and
Performance Fit Lab. Yeah.
Performance Fit Lab. Yeah. It is an amazing space where they have the highest performance technology, testing how people can, their agility, what all the different sensors on the foot. You could probably speak to it more. You've done the testing with Dan, but it starts years in advance before the product ends up on the shelf.
Yeah, man, that's so interesting. And I'm sure just presents like a lot of challenges too, and just kind of developing the relationship with their brands and then coming up with a design concept, testing it, refining it, and then eventually commercializing it years down the road. But what it does is it gives you an opportunity to really get to know each other and form unique bonds with the brand partners that probably last across time. And like La Sportiva's case, translates across categories too, right? Like between footwear and ski boots and mountaineering boots and things like that.
And it's very much a partnership between BOA and the brand. It's not one company is designing it. We're designing it together. The prototypes go back and forth in the mail for years, hopefully quicker than yours, but they will not put it on the shelf until it's perfect.
Yeah. So back to the best sport in the world, trail running. We've mentioned the brands, Speedland Ultra, Lospo, Scarpa, etc. But I've personally seen you at, I think, Western States, Hard Rock, and UTMB, right?
I unfortunately did not get to make it to UTMB.
Oh, well, I saw Brenna and Brock there.
Yes.
Yeah.
BOA has shown up at all of those. I personally got to go to Western States and Hard Rock this year, and that was a powerful moment for just me in the industry and seeing that side of the sport.
Yeah. So if there's anything else you want to say about how BOA is thinking about, because obviously Freetrail, our community, our audience is trail specific. So how BOA is thinking about trail running, both in terms of like how you're showing up as a brand on products, but also like in person at events, because I find it pretty cool.
Yeah, this year was so much fun, and just seeing the passion that goes into the miles that are ran by these amazing athletes is special. And to be on that professional athlete side of things, to see it happen was, I think I laughed, cried, and definitely sweating quite a bit with them. BOA plans to support our athletes foremost. So I got the chance to be with Keely and you this summer, which was cool. We support any of the athletes that wear BOA along the race, but I would say it's going to develop. Run Rabbit Run is our backyard. So BOA came from Steamboat. So that is one that we're kind of taking a special little place in our hearts, and we're giving it a little extra love, showing up there from before, during, and after the race. And I think it'll develop as we get more athletes and kind of expand. Trail running is a less mature category for BOA. So it's a learning process of how the best way for us to show up. But if anything, it's with our brand partners. If our brand partner is passionate about a race, it's like, we're going to go in like with La Sportiva and Run Rabbit Run. We're going to work together and collaborate on events there.
Very, very cool. So the other thing that is recently in the news with BOA that I would be remiss not to ask about is the debut into the ski boot market, which is exciting. You come from Burton in the snowboard biz, where BOAs have been ubiquitous for a decade at least.
Yes.
Talk about this big launch. I think it was Atomic, Salomon, K2.
And Fisher.
So talk about that launch, what it means for the brand.
Well, thanks for asking. It's been quite a hectic, maybe headache is the right word at times, but it's been amazing to watch it come to life. And seeing a disruptive thing, I didn't realize how much I liked to be a part of it. I was a part of the Burton Step-On launch and coming back into this, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is fun. Like to get people angry, to have like the bad reviews coming out already. It's like, it's fun to like be a part of disrupting innovation and seeing the next best thing come along. And this is just the beginning. So I think you're going to see it out there. People are going to hate it and people are going to love it. So it's every category has that moment of BOA stepping in, and it's just the beginning.
Yeah. And I'm sure that was years in the making too, huh?
Yes, I can give you the whole spiel, but I think trail running might catch the ear of quite a few more listeners.
Well, feel free. I mean, I think, this show is meant to be more of an industry look at things, even though skiing's not trail running. If there's anything else you want to say about like the multi-year process to bring this to commercialization, I think our audience would like to hear about it.
Yeah, I mean, it does show the commitment BOA has to work with brands and just design on their own. They started in 2015, just like brainstorming this idea of like, how could we be on a ski boot? And so like now I think it's 2023, like that's a long time. And they've been working with brands since 2017. So it's like, they had to get those 4 brands to really commit from the beginning to like be willing to like change their machineries and the machinery in the factories. And there's so many steps to get athletes in it, and it's really a beautiful thing to see to come to life. And I think with any product that people are passionate about and commit that many years, it's a great thing to be a part of.
Amazing. So maybe winding down, tell us a bit about what you have going on in the next couple of days. You mentioned a happy hour. So if you're here in Austin, maybe where can people come to the happy hour if they're invited, but also, like what's BOA's goals here at TRE, interfacing with partners? Are you just sort of networking, things like that?
Yeah. So TRE is an amazing event. I think I've been to big trade shows, and last year was my first time at TRE, and Harmony even asked me, she was like, do you like TRE? Like, what are your thoughts? I was like, honestly, the energy at this event blew my mind.
Really?
And the amount of people, like, everyone wants to be together. Everyone wants to enjoy Austin, and everybody wants to go running. So you do everything together, and it's just fun, and everybody's happy. So BOA wants to be a part of that. Whether we show up big, whether we have a booth or like the biggest poster as you walk in, it doesn't really matter because we just want to be a part of it all. And working with brand partners here is the most important because they are the ones that are connecting with the retailers face to face. They're getting our product on the shelves. So however we can support our brand partners is a big goal for us.
Sweet. Priorities for 2024, any closing comments for our listeners? Where can they find out more? Any fun new products coming down the pipeline?
I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but I think everybody's seen the Scarpa model launched during UTMB in Europe, but that'll be coming in North America.
I can't wait to see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll see it here this week, and then keep your eyes peeled for Speedland over the next year, of course. We always love to see what comes out there. And then I think you'll see a couple other models that I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say yet or not.
Sounds good. Watch this space.
Yeah.
Meg Procter, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.